Welcome to another episode of Bird Gang Nation Sports Talk. I'm your host, Bird Gang 31. And today we got my good friend Robert from Philly Sports Podcast. What up, my guy?
What's going on there, Bird Gang? You know,
I can't call it another great day, another
yep,
Eagles day. We got the fans going out later on today to be
yep,
watching our birds practice, so it's looking good. It's looking good.
yes, it
How you
does.
doing today, my guy?
Actually, have one of my better days. Just
Hmm.
just chomping at the bit for football.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
when you realize, football really gets into full blast. Like it's one of those things. It's like, okay, so because I'm like literally want the Eagles to play now. So that's the feeling I'm gonna want to get. I'm like really hyped about it because I want to see who you know see how Devontae Smith's doing. Ryan Kerrigan,
hmm,
the right, and I said this too. Like I was blown away by the Ryan Kerrigan sign. It was like, and I looked up at what like at I think 9 o'clock in the morning and looking at it, like, and I literally had the wrong mindset and thinking to myself, is this a dream? Just looking at it until I said it was from NBC Sports. Like, okay, big. I mean, as much as I hate Howie with utter disgust, but he's got big balls to actually make moves like that. Like
yeah.
it's insane. Despite the fact we hate his guts for shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah,
like,
Howie's as long as he don't mess it up right now, Howie's getting back in my good graces for sure.
yeah,
Like he's making some good moves this year. He did pretty good in the draft. Um, and we gotta see, what he does. 'Cause I feel like he opened up some of that space, to add another player.
oh yeah.
Everybody thinks Watson, but I don't want Watson. I don't want to
Not
pay.
until next year. If it was for next year, that's understandable. But it was on my stream too when I had Eagles Uncensored on and Vic on, and we kind of talked about and I remember this was at 11 o'clock at night by Chris Trapazzo, and we all looked at each other. It's like, dude, like you're tweeting something at 11 o'clock at night. We had like, what else better you have to do than rile us up with all
Yeah.
the. And then I had to check Aaron Wilson, who, even though he's not verified, but he's got some credible, league sources,
Hmm.
debunked that was a fake report. It's like, I was like, oh my god. And I think Eagles Uncensored. Him and Vic, trolled about like this, because everybody, hearing the rumors between Nick Foles and the Colts. It's like,
Hmm.
oh boy, not again, not this rodeo again. So they did. So they put out a Twitter, doing like this, like the fake reporting Twitter, just see how everything goes. It's like it was funny, but we all had a good time during that stream. But yeah, but I'm looking forward for Eagles football. See what Devontae Smith can do, what Ryan Kerrigan can bring to the table, and see what Josh Sweat can actually learn from Kerrigan.
Right.
Anthony Harris from what we've been hearing, he's been balling out.
Oh yeah.
Um, Trying to think here. I know Eric Wilson. I heard he was balling out. I think everybody. It just looked like they're fully healthy, confident, and just ready to get under it. And this is why I think bringing Sirianni, I think really does. I think help with this team because he's a players coach. He kind of understands, especially with the receivers, because
Hmm.
I feel like him working with the receivers really, I think is really what's going to bring out the best in the receivers. I mean, throughout everybody, he's going to bring up a lot of everybody. But I think if you're going to have to look at the impact, it feels more as good like the wide receiver part of this squad.
Oh
But
yeah.
that's just what I'm taking away from it.
Yeah, he been pulling all them receivers off to the side, giving them hard coaching. Like I said, I like Nick Sirianni because he doesn't care about the name on the back of the jersey. Everybody's rookies to him. He treats them all the same. In reality, if you look at it, they all are rookies come in the system. So on both offense and defense. So that's how you got to treat these players.
And
Our baby for the last 5 years since Dougie P was there, he would start babying them. I know like a lot of them were older, so you had to like be easy with them, but no,
oh
Nick's not
yeah,
taking that approach. He's going straight in, letting you guys know, I want to see you compete. Only the best will win, and only the best will get a job with us.
yeah, and Travis Fulgham. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think who. I can't remember. One of the content Eagles content creators brought this out. He actually brought the truth to light of why Fulgham was benched. It was that veteran nepotism from
Mhm.
Dougie P, like you said. But the fact now we're having a fresh a really young coaching staff. Not might I yet. That's just really it's really weird to see now we have a young coaching staff. Actually, have a great offensive coordinator, Shane
Mhm.
Steichen, who what Justin Herbert did when he was there. It was just disgusting of how good Justin Herbert was. I have a feeling this is what he's going to do with Devontae Smith. I have a feeling this is what he's going to do with the Devontae Smith. I feel like the Devontae Smith, he's going to. I think he's going to really, get over 1,000 yards
Oh yeah.
as a rookie. And this is why I think he could be a. I know this is me tough because reminds me when Deshaun Jackson kind of broke into the league and Deshaun Jackson, as much as I loved him, his second time around, I mean, at times I really didn't because he was getting up there in age, but memories. Well, I mean, he was one of my all-time favorite Eagles when we got him. He was at those diamond in the rough kind of players in the second round, and I'm still shocked that he was a second round pick. I was thought but hey, look, and look, as much as there's no, I think Philly Leo is asking the first they're going to play the first preseason is the Pittsburgh Steelers is who they're going to play. Um, Me and Nighting's actually, Nighting's on vacation, but we actually did watch the whole thing, and geez, I don't think the Cowboys or the Seahawks are going to be good this year because it was been nothing but fumbles and like a bunch of turnovers left and right. Obviously,
Seahawks.
not
You said?
both. It's like, and again, seeing what the Cowboys have the first, loss. I thought it's, I thought it was just like, hey, look, as long as the Cowboys lose, that makes me happy as a Birds fan.
Right.
But yeah, I thought it was just a sloppy
Cowboys.
game between the
The
two
Cowboys got
teams.
beat down on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They only scored 3 points, man.
it's
Everybody's
like
getting all excited because Parsons picked up a fumble, but it's not hard to pick up a fumble. He
no,
didn't
it
make.
isn't. Like anyone can do it. I still remember. Oh God. I remember Vince Wilfork the when he picked up a phone when he was with the Patriots back then. That I thought that was like the most funniest shit that I ever seen. Is like an offensive lineman picking up a fumble is like no way. But yeah, like it. But I'm like I think the Eagles are going to lose. I feel like Devontae Smith is probably going to have. I think he's going to. I really hope he can. And another. Have 1,000 yard season. I have a feeling what Sirianni and the offensive coordinator can do. I feel like when it comes to the running back, I feel like Sanders. I'm going to sound this may. I don't think this might sound to be a stretch, but I think he can rack up over 2,000 yards. Since the last time someone ever did that was it Barry Sanders with the Detroit Lions? The last time someone had over
Mhm.
2,000 yards.
And he even said it. He said with an 8 game season, there's no reason why he couldn't get 2,000 yards this year. Like I said, Dougie P was, you know, wasn't running the ball last year. We passed the ball like 50, 60 times a game. You
Yeah,
can't get very many rushing yards where you don't get the ball. When they gave him the ball, look how many 70 plus yards rushing he had last year for touchdowns. You know,
I think he had like a
three of them.
couple, like three or four.
Yeah. So if you gave him more carries, that's going to happen more often. Like I think Miles Sanders is the best back in the division.
Yeah,
Like he just
and
don't
then
get the
we got
touches.
some pretty, and we also got some pretty good fullbacks too. And carry on Johnson now, if we have Kenneth Gainwell to be a part of that running back,
Hmm.
as much as and I think the carry on Johnson, that pickup was I thought that was pretty interesting. This kid, even though he's still a young kid, obviously he went to Detroit. Never what kind of worked out because we know how bad Detroit's going to be. I don't think Detroit's not going to be that bad because now
Hmm.
they got Panay Sewell on to strengthen that offensive line, which still I think out of the draft, other than us, I think that's a win for the Detroit. Despite the fact Cincinnati could have bolstered that because obviously most because me, Lindy, and Mitch, we most of our mock drafts were kind of mostly mine was butchered because of the day, what the picks were going because I had because when I had mine I had Panay going 5 and I had Chase going 6.
Hmm.
I was like, oh, and that really screwed everything up for me. But the one thing that Well, the Micah Parsons one, I hadn't really gone a little bit. I hadn't fallen a little bit to like the in the 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was just that was
Was
it. Just
Devontae
really.
your first choice for the Eagles?
Devontae was my, I had Devontae Smith at where were we at in the draft 12 before we traded up,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, I'm looking back at it saying, hey, look, I'll take the trade up, and still got the guy because I've been looking at the reports. It's like Devontae Smith has been really linked with the Eagles from before the draft even started.
Mm-hmm.
So at least I'm having my fingers on. Say, please grab him because if we can do that, I mean, we're going to really make some Giants fans pissed off because we're going to be living up in their head rent free for the season. And look, we're living in Dallas. We're living the Cowboys set from the 2018 draft. When was that one held? Oh God, because as I still remember, it's just like was one of the we had like some like former like football greats like David Akers roasting them for the Eagles, obviously.
I remember
And then
Dallas
it got
wanted Dallas Goddard, and we swooped Dallas
yeah,
Goddard up.
and then the year after they got paid back on us to get CD Lamb.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Now getting to Devontae Smith, and I kind of and I kind of made this said something too. It's like I don't feel like weight really matters in football. It's just I feel like it's like it just really doesn't really affect I think it's just only the performance that you have to look at it.
Yeah,
That obviously we know people are kind of critical of his weight and it's like, and I'm thinking to myself, take a look what Deshaun Jackson was when he got drafted back then. He
when
was
you
like
look
what
back,
a buck 75.
yeah, when you
And
look,
he made a great career here in Philadelphia. Obviously, the most favorite memory I had was that 31-point comeback. You
oh yeah,
know, like it's like no Eagles fan is going to forget that. But yeah, I mean that's just kind of the way I'm seeing things. I feel like the training camp looks like they're going well. Obviously, Jalen Hurts had only I think God, we only have one bad camp or one day, but I think that's about it. And I'm just seeing people really critical about that.
I was going
Um,
to ask you, how do you feel about that? Because my
I
personal opinion is you can have a bad day. Everybody has
oh
bad,
yeah,
and the defense was playing good that day.
oh
So you
yeah,
put those two things together, it looked bad for the offense, but it's not no worries. Like if we had weeks and weeks of people saying, bad day, the offense is struggling, stuff like that, then you
and
might.
there's some understanding with that, but the way that I think what they're I feel look I know Jalen Hurts had a bad day, but I feel like the way that we're hearing things, I feel it's just the offense is getting stronger and the defensive side is getting stronger. Now,
Mm-hmm.
not to mention now we have Steven Nelson as an outside corner, which to my surprise, I was just like, I was just rubbing my eyes, as like, thank God, like he actually finally we did something because God, it still brings me back to when Yannick Ngakwe was pulling this trolling crap all over Twitter, liking all this Eagle stuff before he got. I think where did he go to the Ravens? If I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
Ravens or the Titans is one of those two.
I know too.
But I mean, back then he was really in a free agent. But the fact that we now have Steven Nelson, who actually is a pretty good corner in his own right outside of Slay, I feel like I think we did pretty good. I think we did pretty good.
And with the rookie McPherson, he's lighting it up.
I heard Zach. I'm Zach. I mean, at first I was kind of critical. Like, if we really throw him to the fire, I don't feel he's going to like do well. But the way that we're hearing this, like maybe he's going to be maybe there's a whole different thing that I'm not seeing. It's like okay, so he's kind
I
of
told I
making eat
told
my
him right,
words.
play guy. Just because he went to a smaller school didn't mean, and he was drafted in the fourth round doesn't mean anything. Take out
Exactly.
look how many first rounders don't do too good. You know what I'm saying? And then you have the fourth and fifth rounders showing up and showing out. And you're like, whoa, he was drafted that late, but he started on one team, and then the starters sit in the bench. It always happens. Not all 32 first round picks are starters and stars. So
Nah.
like the fact that we got him in the fourth and he's doing so well. I wasn't even that big on getting Nelson. I thought he could have did it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's
Yeah,
fine. Everybody thinks just because you're a rookie, you need time, but there's plenty of rookies that start their first year.
yeah. I still remember when Pat Mahomes when he came, and it's still surprising what many teams that passed up on Mahomes, which is really what's the word? It's just I just feel like it's very shocking to say the least. But it's just like at this point, I mean, Mahomes is doing, I feel like he's really racking up an early Hall of Fame career just by what he's been doing.
Hmm.
And this is why I feel like that's what I kind of remember, because in his first year, I think wasn't I feel like wasn't I feel like Alex Smith was with the Chiefs at the time. And I think he, yeah, that's right. Because I remember he started a few games and this was during his rookie season. That was Mahomes' rookie season, and we all know how well the Chiefs turned out in that division. And they actually did pretty well under Mahomes in his first year. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of where what you're saying. There's some that may do well the first year, some may not. I mean,
Even
it
Jalen, like the little four game or 3.5 game sample size that he
yeah.
that was pretty good for a sample size, not having an off
Especially
season.
beating the Saints, who at the time had a very solid team in the
Yeah, they
regular
were like
season.
number one defense or something like that in the
I
league.
think, yeah, it was number one defense, and he just torched them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like at the time, I was like, okay, so because I've watched a lot of Jalen Hurts in college, so there was a lot of things that I actually liked about him, because nowadays is like you know and I said this too. After that ACL injury that Carson Wentz had suffered in 2017, I feel like that was kind of like the downfall of his mobility. I mean, he's been more of like a pocket quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But I think picking up Jalen, I thought Jalen Hurts, I thought it could have been like a of his caliber at the time. I thought it was like a third or fourth round quarter or
Mm-hmm.
pick. But we spent a second round pick on him. Even though most people were critical, I wasn't, because I thought at the time, because we really haven't really had a solid backup since Nick Foles. No, did we still have Nick Foles at the time? Oh God, I'm really blanking out.
When
Well, we picked Jalen Hurts.
no, that was the first year without Nick Foles.
Okay, so that was the first year without Nick Foles. Okay,
Yep. Remember the year
because
before
I
we
thought
had
I know Sudfeld
before that,
wasn't
we had
ready.
Josh McCown. Remember Josh McCown
Oh my
played that
God,
playoff game.
I love Josh McCown. The fact that the dude played with a torn hamstring, for
And he was
crying
like
out loud.
40, like
40
40
with
years
the torn.
old. And he played a good game, man.
Yeah, it's
He
just
played a good
like,
game. I can't hate him for that.
nah.
But
I
that
don't think
was
no Eagles fans can do that.
I don't
I, I think he's going to make a great coach, and what he's experienced throughout his entire NFL career. I feel like now, I got to see where, I don't know where he's at now. I feel like he's got to be like a coach somewhere. But yeah, I mean, someone having McCown, actually coaching a football team, I don't really don't see a problem with that, because he can bring a lot of things, a lot of his expertise and what he, different like techniques and all the stuff he's brought in. I think other than that, I like Sudfeld, but I don't feel like he was like a decent backup. So I think having Jalen Hurts was the backup. I thought it's like, okay, so there's some, you can see there's some potential there.
mm-hmm.
The fact now now that you saw like different, like videos of him, he looks a lot bigger than he was last year. And it's like,
It does.
deadlifting 620 pounds. Like, when's the last time you've seen a quarterback ever deadlift that much? You
Never.
don't see quarterbacks doing that anymore.
Mm-mm.
And now he's looked like he actually bulked up, but he doesn't look like he lost any speed. And I feel like and I think people also were critical that he didn't have any good. I mean, he has the arm strength, but I think having a little bit bulking up a little bit, I feel like he's going to really improvise his arm strength.
Yeah. And plus, he was only 24. His birthday was yesterday.
Oh yeah,
He's only 24. He still got room to grow and get better and smarter and faster and all that stuff. So the sky's the limit with Jalen. Like
oh
Jalen
yeah,
was picked to help out with salary. We need to, after we gave Carson all that money, we need to have some money under our cap, and we
yeah.
couldn't keep paying $10 million, $8 million to these old backup quarterbacks.
Because I
Right now,
think, yeah, the 8 million I know is to sack Ertz. Like, because if we can cut him, like say we cut him, that saves us 4 million. But trading him, we'll see the entire 8 million.
mm-hmm.
And there's some others that we kind of restructured as well. So as much as like we said earlier, as much as we don't like Howie, but the dude's a cap genius when it comes to how to fix the cap.
Mm-hmm.
But now we have Carson Wentz is gone. Malik Jack, is that his name? Oh fuck, I can't remember. I know G Jackson's gone. Elshine, Carson. Having these guys from the 2017 Super Bowl team, when they're gone, and the next, from what Joey would, I think Joey said this too. Like, the next 2 to 3 years, like, we're gonna have like 40 to 50 million in cash space, so we got a lot to work with.
Yeah, we might even have more. Like I said, if some of these youngsters we drafted pan out, we're gonna have more money than that because some of these veterans,
Exactly.
huge contracts. If they don't continue to keep playing, like even the argument I've been having lately with Fletcher Cox, he's got a huge cap number next year, and
Yeah.
if he doesn't start producing like kind of similar to Aaron Donald, like I know there's no other Aaron Donald out there, he's one of a kind, but Fletcher Cox is known to be up there, as the second best DT, and
Yeah.
but he getting quarterback money. So if you're gonna get quarterback money, you got to get the sacks too, and that is
Yeah.
something that Fletch definitely hasn't been doing that much of lately, and he definitely
But I
did.
think there's a possibility he will actually do pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Cox was like he's. I know he's in his 30s, so how much more time does he have as a football player? Sometimes older players really don't pan out. Like you said, there's only one Aaron Donald, and Aaron Donald is a consistent producer, and
Mm-hmm.
look, he's still getting better, which is crazy to see. But
Unless
hey,
like I don't want Fletch to go, but if
no, I don't
unless he
either.
he restructures that contract, you know, he might end up being one of them cap casualties. Like
Yeah,
like you said, I want him to stay, but you can't keep getting that money that you're getting and not producing sacks. Like I understand you clogged the hole, I understand you stopped the run, but part of that kind of money, like if Fletcher Cox was getting paid like 15 million a year, something like that, then it would be justified him not getting
yeah.
sacks. But when you're like one of the highest paid players, definitely making some quarterback money a year, you got to produce at a high level, elite level when you're
Oh
making
yeah.
money.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think overall, I think as what this team has been, built from. I feel like we did a pretty good job building around Jalen Hurts. Finally addressing what we really needed. And I don't know if this is true or not, but I've been hearing a lot of people saying, Nick Sirianni wasn't Howie's ear in getting Devontae Smith out of the draft. I don't know if that's a true rumor, but that's where I feel like I'm worried. This is where I'm from where that came into play because if he and people haven't realized the last 2 years like we could have had just think about it, we could have had Devontae Smith, Justin Jefferson, and DK Metcalf, but
And
with
perseverance, right?
Doug's stubbornness, what caused to get us. I know JJ or do I remember?
J Jaw. We just call him J Jaw,
Yeah, or the Umbrella Man. A lot of people, most people are
right?
associating this like.
You
Because
think
think about it,
umbrella?
we could have had a potential dangerous trio of wide receivers.
Yeah, but you gotta look at it too. If we would have got DK that year, like I said, like I tell everybody, you gotta look at it. That would have been awesome to have these guys. But on the trajectory our team was going on, these guys might not be the star we love to say they are right now on our team.
I
Like
mean,
there's
look,
a possibility with all the injuries stuff, like those things you could never substitute.
no, you
Like
really
last
couldn't.
year, if we had Justin Jefferson, I'm pretty positive he wouldn't have had that many yards.
No,
With Carson playing the way he did, and the
actually, that's
line,
true.
with the line being all messed up, like Justin Jefferson would have just been the same thing you're talking about Rager right now. You'd be like, oh, he's good, but like he
He could
hadn't
be
really done it.
better.
Yeah. Then who knows what happened if you switch that around. Rager was on that team in that offense, and he had all the yards. But oh, we should have got Rager last year. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, yeah.
there's always
And
hindsight.
look, and this is and I've also like Rager too because it's like the fact. Look, he had to share his fair injuries, but I think having someone like Sirianni, I feel like he's going to really bring out the best in Jalen Rager. And
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking myself, if Jalen Rager can also get another 1,000 yard, do 1,000 yard season, I think he was. I don't know if he was close to it. I think he had like 800 something yards. I'm not entirely too sure. There's something that he can have a couple 1,000 yard seasons. I mean, we've seen it. Just despite the short sample size, him bouncing back and forth to different injuries and whatnot. But having someone like Sirianni actually literally put him in his place in one training camp, and obviously we saw the video of the one handed catch over was it over Terrier Slayer or something?
Yeah, that was over Slay.
That's like okay. Now I think there's something if we got. I think
I
as
like
much
that
as
catch.
I know it's something. I don't think it's. I'm. I don't sound crazy. I think if Sirianni can bring out the best, even me, what Rager's ceiling, probably even surpass that. I think over. I mean, and I would see this as a win for the Eagles. I mean, obviously, TCU was not as not a big football school from what I've been hearing. Because because from what I've understood, that TCU was mostly was is known for baseball,
Hmm.
and obviously we know Rager had to go through different quarterbacks throughout his years at TCU, I mean, which is understandable. Like you said, Carson wasn't the quarterback that he once was, so he really got the chance to shine. We like how we talked about, when we had DK or Justin, they could have been in the same boat as Rager. So I mean, either way you look at it, it's still going to be the same thing.
Hmm.
But having Sirianni, Shane Steichen, helping with the offense, and now having Jonathan Gann, I feel like is really going to bring out the very best in their, probably even better than what our defense was, or defensive line of what they could be. Now that we have Slay and Nelson at the corners, now I think I mean, the future is kind of bright with this team. We got having players like Kayvon Wallace, Nate Herbig, Jack Driscoll. There's and Jordan Mailata, and he's been kind of been my sleeper pick with the for the Eagles, and what he the fact that the fact that man played rugby for his entire life.
Hmm.
Then he's outbeaten a lot of players who's been training their entire lives for this, especially with Andre Dillard.
First round pick.
It's just like you're. It's like, how embarrassing does that look that look that you're a first round pick, you're getting your ass to beat out trying is getting outbeat by a seventh rounder.
Right? That never played football except for like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
And that's the thing too. It's just like I was just like, okay. I mean, I know rugby's a whole different sport entirely,
Hmm.
but I feel like I think this is why, which is scary not to say because what that my lot who's like 6'8", 350 pounds, but he can move like quicker, like being having a lot of speed for a guy who's 350 plus pounds is like okay. And Eagles Uncensored kind of brought this interesting thing too, like because he kind of talked about it's like if you want to protect Jalen Hurts, like why not have like guys who are say like 6'8", line up like on the offensive line, for more pass protection. Because
Yeah.
I kind of thought that over. It's like actually that's not a bad idea because you have a lot of guys who are like 6'8". Jordan Mailata is one of them. I don't know how tall Lane Johnson is. But I know we're going to still have Jason Kelsey, but I don't know how much longer he's going to be in the league. Um, but yeah, there's I think that's not a bad idea to really think about. If you can put I think a couple 6'8" guys on the outside, you can really have like protection from his blind side because you like having like players like Chase Young. Yeah, Chase Young, he can wrap around it, but you're gonna have guys who's 6'8", 350, 300 plus pounds with a lot of strength. I feel like that's really as I think Sirianni needs to keep that in the back of his head. At least keep that in mind. Having watch out for these speedy defensive ends. That's just kind of what I just took from what Eagles Uncensored kind of brought that hypothetical into question. That's just kind of what I thought about it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Like I like what Jay do. Like I said, he's making sure that everybody's here to play and earn the spot. You know, and like you said, he be pulling these receivers to the side. He's not scared to pull you aside and tell you, hey, you're not doing your job. Get it done. Like you said, what about the whole Rager thing? Rager was having bad practices. What he do? He pulled him, chewed his butt. Next thing you know, he was even putting them in second team practice drills. And then what happens the next day at practice? You see Rager making plays again. Some of these players they need that, to say they feel like they've made it,
Exactly.
and they haven't made it yet. Then they feel like they've made it, and then you gotta like bring them back down to earth.
And that's the thing about Zach McPherson. Is like he's doing pretty well, but he said he's not satisfied. So okay, and this is kind of I think that's what for for Zach McPherson as a rookie, say he's not satisfied with what he's doing. Say future's kind. I feel like he's really going to be successful here because there's a lot of guys who are going to be this future. The future is very bright with this team. As much as I don't like, I mean, you still got Jordan Mailata. He's still a young guy. Lane Johnson, I don't know how much he's going to be much longer or in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Kelsey, I feel like you say give him like another year or two. Everything after that, I mean, Fletcher Cox is another one that's probably a possibility. He might.
I think Jason might be gone this year. I think
Uh,
this is probably our last year we're gonna see Jason. You
uh,
know,
yeah, I mean, as
Some
much as
say that
sucks though.
too, but that would mean Sam is gonna have to take the back seat to Landon because I want to
Yeah,
see him play ASAP. Like I
yeah.
want to be opposed to him playing after week 7 this year. You know,
And
like
that's the thing too. Like that's some big shoes you're going to be filling when Chase and Kelsey leaves. Like that's some big shoes you're going to really. That's you're going to have to step it up
mhm.
because we like most Eagles fans, we don't know what Dickerson is going to be capable of. I mean, Suamalo might be a possibility, or I think we have another. I mean, we got a lot, so many like different position guys. It's hard to keep track who's who.
Mhm.
Obviously, I mean, obviously we got some good competition going. Both wide receivers, the tight ends, the running. I think for me, I feel like the most good competition is the running backs and the wide receivers. I mean, we
Yeah,
all know what's
yeah.
going on with the tight ends. Um, let's see. I mean, both breakout. I mean, obviously, we don't know Devontae Smith's probably going to be one of them.
Mhm.
But truth be told, I feel it's going to be Josh Sweat and Miles Sanders both offensively and defensively because I feel like Josh Sweat. I feel like he's. I feel like he's going to get better from here on out.
Oh yeah.
Despite he's still a young guy, but I
Was
think bringing
Sweat
right.
like people forget that he was a first round talent. You know,
Yeah, because I
he
remember.
got dropped because of his knee. But how many years he been? Like 3 now. So his
I
knees
think it's like
gotten
yeah, I think it's like 3 years now in the
yeah.
league.
His knees gotten better every year. He's producing a little bit better every year. Last year he didn't play that much of what he had
No,
6 sacks, and this year he's terrorizing Mylata and Dillard. Like he
yeah,
looks silly, and I think he's gonna do that to the rest of the league this year. He's gonna be one of the premier pass rushers as long as his knee stays healthy. And like it's one thing to get over a knee injury health wise, where the doctor clears you, but it's a
oh yeah,
whole nother thing to get over it mentally. And I think it took him time to actually get over it mentally and play at a high level. You know.
and this is why I feel like Ryan Kerrigan is really going to be the huge mentor to Josh Sweat.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look at, because I've seen like you have almost like similar skill set, but I feel like Josh Sweat's a little bit quick. It has a bit more athleticism than Kerrigan. We all knew Kerrigan's getting up there in age. It's like, but I feel like bringing Ryan Kerrigan is really going to bring out what Josh Sweat it can be. You
Mm-hmm.
know, having almost like 100, almost 100 sacks in his career. Building up a long career, and really just making off the offensive life really miserable. Like we all know how Ryan Kerrigan came over here. After what the Washington took Chase Young, and then that was pretty much the rest of his history. The playing
Yeah.
time was kind of sawing down. Um,
Some people,
but
even Washington, especially Washington fans, they don't realize they lost a big piece too last year with Ryan Kerrigan coming to our team.
yeah,
When he had just as many sacks as Chase, almost, I think is one off, and still he played a third of the time. You gotta look at that and think, dang, he was making a huge impact for your defensive line as well.
yeah, for the last
Now,
10 plus years.
yeah, and now he's gone. I think it's all no worries. He's old, but I think he's gonna come over here and show that he's not done
He,
yet. He
no,
still got
okay,
gas.
he's still young. For a guy, what was he like 31, 32, and he still
Mhm.
looks he's still young though in his young 30s, which is weird to say because it's like people who football players who are reaching their 30s tend to decline. Take Djax for example.
Mhm.
He when he got up there in age, I mean the speed. I know if he wasn't fully healthy wise, the speed was there.
Mhm.
But the problem was he was getting like I think one game he got hit and then he got hurt, which is really shocking because Djax obviously was one of my favorite Eagles. Well, I had plenty more, you know, other than Djax that I've like growing up as an Eagles fan. But yeah, I'm just putting this into perspective. People like the football players who are getting up into their 30s tend to decline. But like someone like Ryan Kerrigan, who was like 31, 32, he's still got another sprint. And he's saying, look, I may be in my 30s, but like I'm not done yet.
Like Chris Long.
Oh
You
God, Chris Long.
Chris
I
Long.
think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be a little bit better than Chris Long, in my opinion. I thought Chris. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Chris Long pickup was actually really good. For
Hmm.
us during that. I
Oh
mean, he
yeah,
was.
I think Carrington definitely got more in the tank right now than Chris Long did when he came
Yeah,
with us. For
yeah.
sure.
Because I think Chris Long was like 35, 36 when he came to us,
Hmm.
and I think because I had a feeling he was going to retire after that year. But yeah, like it was like put in perspective. Someone who's the youngest, like what's Cox like 33, give or
Yeah,
take. I
yeah.
mean, I say give him like I say four. I think 3 or 4 more years. I think Cox might call it
Hmm.
because you got to think too.
That's why
Like
if he restructures his contract to save the team money so we can use some more of that money allocated other places, I definitely want him to stay. But if he's gonna be like, hey, I'm on my way out, I'm in the back half of my career, I wanna keep getting paid this kind of money until I'm done, then
that's going to be a problem.
we might see him go.
Because think about it. Because now we're dealing with the obviously we know what we're doing with dealing with the Earth situation, which um I feel like if you want to have to keep two tight, I feel like it's going to be Goddard and Richard. And I thought Richard Rodgers was a surprise for the Eagles. I think bringing him back, I feel like he's going to really be a good tight end for them because I feel like both got good hands. I feel like Richard Rodgers had maybe a little bit more speed or he's got more like athleticism because we all knew he worked with Aaron Rodgers when he was in Green Bay. Obviously, with that Hail Mary pass.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, most people would not remember that he was a Green Bay Packer before we snatched him up,
Hmm.
and what the and kind of what obviously would know. As much as I never liked Green Bay, but it's just like I just um what's going over there? It's just like I mean you're really I mean at this point in time, I mean you got to think to yourself. Aaron Rodgers is already a Hall of Famer of what he's accomplished in Green Bay. But the only dislike, I mean, it's the front office. I feel like is really screwing Aaron Rodgers, and I kind of feel like this is where I think, and I kind of understand. And I've talked to some Packers fans too. And they kind of share the same sentiment because, like, I mean, hello, I mean, we have like we have a GM that's a cap genius, but at times, can't draft for shit. But now looking back at it, because sometimes coaches can be in the GM's ear, and
Hmm.
then obviously, we had to deal with this Carson Wentz issue, and we were in cap hell. We really didn't have much to work with. Obviously now we're taking what 30 plus million in dead cap. Um,
For the cap like 14 million right now.
we're over 14 million over the cap.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness!
When they
See this is
restructured Lanes and Barnett's contract.
speaking of Barnett, he better live up to where we drafted him. He's got a bit. If he doesn't, he needs to needs to just needs to get out of Philly. Because it's like, why would you draft someone like? I understand that the potential's there, but the problem is like he was too inconsistent. Like he really can't really do much. But I think this is why I think having speedy guys like Malata,
Hmm.
um, basically just having guys who are 6'8" with speed who can actually, and that's the thing too. Like this is why I think when Malata might make an impact on the offensive line. Because with that rugby background, but if he gets knocked down, he's going to wind up getting up and chasing you. Like
Yeah.
it's scary to think that someone who has 6'8", 350 pounds chasing your ass down the football field. It's like that's something you're going to keep in mind. It's just like nobody realizes how much of an impact that's going to have. Like the
And
recover,
he has balance.
most
He used to running with, the ball in rugby. So that means he has balance on his feet. So he's gonna be able to hit these guys and keep driving them back. You've seen that happen a couple of times last year where he was
yeah.
drive blocking people. Like this guy's a beast, man. He's bigger than most men in general. And that's
But he's
why
got that speed's really his speed's going to kill. It's going to kill that defensive line. That's
oh
going to
yeah.
wear them out. Because
Yeah.
that's the thing too. Because like with most offensive line, because like as they get knocked down, they're going to have. There's sometimes the recovery is not as great. It's not great. Uh, Philly foothills. That's a
Right?
yeah. And I kind of and that's the thing too. Like my lot as much as people, and this is why I think I really think Mailata is hungry. Well, I think most everybody on this team is. These young guys, and I know Ryan Kerrigan. And that's the thing too. And bringing back Ryan Kerrigan, he's like, even off the football field, he's already doing something. For the city of Philadelphia. I mean, he hasn't been here for not very long though. That's the thing. It's like he's already doing some charity work for the city of Philadelphia. It's like, I feel like if you're good, I say as much as I don't want him, even though it's a 1 year deal. If we can get a lot of, hopefully try to get enough cap. I say if he plays well, same with this Nelson. I think. See Lane. I don't know. I haven't really heard it. I don't think I've heard anything about Lane just yet.
Did something happen to him or something?
I don't know. Like I haven't really paid attention to what was going on. I mean, I have to, but like I was saying, if Kerrigan plays well, I mean, I really don't see there's a possibility he could be getting like a small extension.
Yeah.
Um,
I think a lot of these 1 year deals still can get a 2 3 year extension after if they play.
exactly, and
Like I really want to see Harris ball out and get an extension and be our safety back there for the next 3 or 4 years.
yeah, and help Kayvon develop
Yeah.
till. And same with Eric Wilson. I think Eric Wilson. I thought that was a very solid pickup.
Oh yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I think, and I said the exact same. And somebody in my chat, I was doing like a live stream. Somebody in my chat, I think it was either Mitch or somebody else, saying there if Saban plays well, there could be a possibility to extend him. I think, like you said, with these 1 year deals, it's like there's a possibility there could be like a 2 to 3 year extension. So I think,
Even with who you talking about? Nelson.
yeah, Nelson if he plays well.
It's like yes, and I see too. Like it depends the development of Mr.
McPherson.
McPherson, and because next year, like you said, there's some ballers set cornerbacks in the draft. So money wise, if McPherson's balling out and you drop the first round talent, you're still giving money to big play Slay. You know what I'm saying? Then you can convert that over to the point where you might be able to let him go get the real money he want to get. Because
Yeah,
I don't think
I
we
mean,
need.
because we got,
He'll have to be a shutdown this year for us to pay the kind of money he's playing. He wants
yeah.
to get paid.
I mean, obviously we have Slay for the. I think for next year, what I think. I mean, obviously that draft's going to be really good. It's going to be very heavy with prospects. The one that kind of is standing out to me is Derek Stingley, who's he's a cornerback. I thought something to myself.
Him and Elam from Florida.
I haven't really paid attention to him a little bit because Derek Stingley, I'm really keeping my eye on because I feel like he's like the most highly touted NFL prospect. Everyone's kind of keeping their eye on. I mean, not gonna lie. I mean, some of the drafts made there were some sleeper picks that people right now really expect to have, to really pay attention to. Like you said, even basketball's a whole nother thing that I've talked try to talk about. But I feel like Derek Stingley, and you said was it Elon something?
Was that?
Who? Elon. I think Elon was the. Is he another corner?
Florida. He's a cornerback. Yeah. And there's actually like 4 or 5 top-ranked corners. Alabama got a corner coming out. That's pretty good if he does good this year. I forgot his name offhand, but like him, Elam, and Stingley are like the main 3 coming out.
I think it's going to be mostly corner heavy, which I think, in reality, like you said, we can allocate that money a whole lot better. I feel like this is where what we're going to need. I mean, as much as I like Slay,
the team is always to draft good. If you can get a stud guy, so you can let him ride those 5 years out in their rookie contract and save you money.
Yeah, it does.
You always can plug holes, but you don't want to plug them all the time with free agents because that's what we've been. That's why we got into
not with aging free agents too. That's the thing.
Even though Nelson's kind of young, I just don't see him being a shutdown. And if you're trying to make a team be great for years, why not draft another young corner?
I guess, like you say, get Elam from Florida, or get someone like Derek Stingley from LSU.
Yeah, from LSU.
I just think that's just what I'm seeing too. I feel like there's a lot of NFL prospects are coming from either Alabama, Oklahoma, LSU.
The SEC, man. SEC football is #1, my guy.
Yeah, I loved SEC. I think the ACC. As much as I really hate to say it, I feel like ACC is second. It's like the second best to the SEC because that's some good. The SEC, no matter what sport you're in, is great competition. Mm-hmm. And I feel like this is where like hypothetical, if we do get want to get Sting, like this is really what's going to really, I think, push us to like towards like the right direction to where we want to go. I mean, obviously we're only in the right path. Obviously, having someone like Steven Nelson who's only 28 years old, on a 1 year deal, kind of it really. I mean, it does show. As much as people hate Howie, but I just feel like he wants to get back to where they were, and obviously to well, yeah, I mean, we all knew what was going on the last couple of seasons, and I can understand why people want Howie out. That's the thing too. Like, if Howie's out, like, who else is going to take? Who's going to take the reins, and who's going to really manage? Because he knows how to manage the cap. But if you look, like, as much as I really don't want him to get an extension, but if he, I see, this is why I feel like he needs. I know we really need a better GM, but I feel like Howie should stay, but as kind of the financial on the financial side of things. He knows how to manage that cap. When people don't realize, he's very smart with that. Uh, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah, Howie is right. Like people forget he was GM of the year. Like he does know what he's doing. Like yeah, he's not the best talent, you know, when it comes to the draft, but that's a lot of other people's jobs too. You
yeah,
know, and like it's more everybody else need to worry about that and let Howie just worry about the money and the
yeah.
contracts and things like that. You know, the restructures and negotiations and things like that, and let the player scouts do that. You know, some of it's his fault, some of it's Lori's fault, some of it's the coach's fault. Like you even heard him
Like,
come out and say he drafted some.
everyone's at fault for that for the last
Yeah,
couple of seasons. So it's just it's but yeah, I have a feeling like majority. It's I mean obviously last two seasons I feel like Peterson was mostly to blame because um actually probably actually I mean it's really self-explanatory of what was going on the last couple of years. At you know, and this is why I feel like this is where, as much as I don't wish or just ask or just say one person's not going to last long in the league, I have a feeling Wentz is not going to. Wentz is one of those players where he's. And I don't know if you hear it. He's trying to come back quickly from that foot. And this is what I found surprising. The Colts actually found that history. He had a foot injury during his college days. I don't know. Eagles fans didn't know about that because the Eagles actually found that out when he was in college. He had dealt with a foot injury,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
as much as it's just like I was just shocked. I was like, oh my goodness. I don't think
Hey,
myself
I think
like
the Eagles guys weren't doing very good at all today anyway. You know, like
because
with injuries, knowing what was wrong with people, you know, not making sure people was getting the proper treatment they needed to keep them back in the game.
oh yeah,
Hey,
and
tell Gail,
which
uncensored, tell Gail and JC I said, what up, my guys? Y'all lucky guys, you.
and that's the thing too. Like in the picks that I mean, even though when we traded up, one of those picks could have been Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
If we think
Well,
about,
I don't want Deshaun Watson.
well, not now, but I'm saying if this shit didn't, or like say if he didn't get into these legal troubles,
Yeah.
just think of it, just hypothetically, say if he didn't do what is going to said, would you still take Deshaun Watson minus all the legal troubles?
Not if we have Hurts, no.
That's
I'm
actually
very confident in Hurts, dude.
I have you I
Like
see, and
Deshaun
this is what
Watson won 4 games last year,
yeah,
so it doesn't
and the
matter.
Texans are not going to go anywhere for years to come if they're going to
There's
deal with
multiple
that.
games where he could have won the game on last drive, and he didn't do it. So that's not a winner to me. So I
And
don't care what stat
I
you
think I
put
also
up
think
during trash time. That doesn't make you a great quarterback. And I'm happy that we don't got him on our team. I hope we don't get him on our team.
and I feel and this is where I feel like Jalen Hurts might. I mean, it's crazy as it sounds, but I feel like he kind of Jalen Hurts really actually does well in that department when it comes to like crunch time in the. And I think about this too, like him and Kyler Murray during that game balled out against each other. So like, who knows what how. I mean, it was coming down to it was a very close game coming down to the wire. The way that those two were playing, former college teammates together. Obviously Jalen Hurts was the runner up to the Heisman Trophy. Um, but I just feel like what I almost said Wentz, but Jalen Hurts is where he's going to really take a huge stride in his young career. Like if he can do a lot of things, especially the crunch time, where I see this as like that's the most important factor as a quarterback. If you can do the right things in crunch time. I mean, look, Vic. I mean, Vic's got. I mean, it's like. I mean, I say there's going to be like a. I mean, you really can't count how many ifs are going to be there. So you really can't place a number on it. So I guess too many is probably a better
You
answer.
know, from the point of what you're gonna give a draft pick away for a guy that might not even play this year.
And,
You're gonna
and
give
this
him
is and,
a $20 million contract to another guy on our team when we got Jalen Hurts on a rookie contract. It's like there's just
exactly
too many different variables for what the talent
for
level's not that much better.
no.
You know,
And this and
I
this
don't
and,
think
and this is what Vic said
a
too when he was
lot
on
of
my
Eagle
when
fans. I
we
think a
talked
lot of
about.
Eagle fans do think he's a lot better. You know, but like I said,
I feel like
4 games last year, he can't finish games, and it's like that's not winning to me. That's not
no,
a
it
win.
is. It really isn't. But with Hurts, like he even with the Cardinals game, like him and Kyler were kind of just really like I don't think you're ever gonna have if you're gonna him and Kyler. I mean, it was something special to be seen. You
Yeah,
know,
that's a great game.
dude, it was a great game on both
Mhm.
sides. It's like
If our defense
obviously,
up
I mean,
the end,
obviously Arizona came out as with the W, but overall, I mean, for me, I took it as a W for Jalen Hurts because of what he has done. And Arizona at the time was still a great team. Like for a
mhm.
young for even though Jalen Hurts is being a rookie, balling out for against his old college teammate and really just showed. And at that time, I feel like uh, I think we have a better franchise quarterback. Someone who has got a great football IQ. If the play's not there, and we've seen it too. Like there was like some place he didn't have. Like he just tossed it away. You
Yeah, he has
know,
a way. He can scramble. You know, he knows how to
he
slide. That's a big thing, Carson. That cost him from getting hurt. He doesn't know how to slide. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a huge thing. Like you're not
yeah.
taking those extra hits if you just dive slide on the ground.
Even Jalen Hurts can give out big hits too. Like say if he
Oh
gets picked
yeah,
up, dude.
he's
Which is
strong.
oh my gosh! Like people don't realize that he's small, but he's strong. But now we see because I feel like he like put like 10 to 15 pounds on this all season. It's like
Hmm.
I can see he's going to get some bigger hits though. He's going to wind up hurting somebody with.
Running that RPO game with Hurts, Sanders, Gainwell,
Oh,
whatever
that's
other
going to
guy,
really be dangerous.
that's gonna be so dangerous this year. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna put so much stress on the defense. It's gonna leave Dallas Goddard wide open because how you gonna stop the run, then turn around try to stop the Slim Reaper? Then Dallas Goddard, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to the Pro Bowl this year for how many good catches,
I
wide
think
open
so. I
catches,
think there's a lot of
yards
players
he
that
get.
who's going to be a Pro Bowler. Obviously, Goddard's going to be one of them. I have a feeling maybe Devontae Smith could be a Pro
Oh
Bowler.
yeah, Rookie of the Year Pro Bowler, I believe.
Oh, even
Like,
and this is why I think this is why what and I like understand why and I love how Devontae Smith is getting a lot of compliments from these you know hall, you know old Hall of not Hall of Famers but these wide receivers who were one great like Chad Ochocinco. He had some great things to say about him.
yeah.
Who else? There
Like
was
he was
another
the
one.
last guy receiver to win the Heisman Trophy since who? Like Desmond Howard, somebody.
Something
Like
like
that's
30. It was the first time that's happened in 30 years.
yeah. So
This is
why don't
like
you give him love? I hate how everybody gives all these other
I
receivers
love the.
so much
Don't get
love
me
to
wrong. It's
Devontae.
like
Devontae's earned his respect.
oh,
You know,
definitely.
everybody
Got
like Chase Young this and Waddle
or
that.
Jam,
And I love Waddle too. Don't get me wrong. I'm
oh
a Waddle
yeah.
guy.
Because think about
But
it, and Devontae Smith said himself like if Wall didn't get hurt, Wall could have been would have been a high. Either way, it was still going to be he was going to be a Heisman winner.
mhm.
But unfortunately, the injury to Waddle really I think what catapulted Devontae Smith
It just
into the
showed that he
limelight.
can't be the main target on team. 'Cause with Waddle was there, they both would have been having stats. Now, neither one of their stats would have been good enough probably to win them the Heisman, but they would have been elite receivers both, just
Oh
like they
yeah,
are considered. But the fact that Waddle did get injured, that put everybody. That's why I'm telling everybody. They're like he's too small. It's like this guy was the best number one threat on the team. They were double teaming him. They were triple teaming him, and he was
yeah.
still putting up big numbers on them. And there's big corners in the SEC. All of them were double and tripling this guy. He was still scoring touchdowns on them. So it's
Like
like, why can't you see that? Why don't you understand that the size don't matter? Yeah, he
I
twisted.
think because think about it this way. Look how small Deshaun Jackson was when he came out of the second round. Think about it. He was like 6 foot, a buck 75 coming out of the draft. It's like, it's just like I said before, like
And
size really doesn't matter in
Deshaun,
football.
run routes as good as Slim Reaper do. He wasn't like that off the line. Deshaun
No,
was just too fast for everybody to
he was a
deal with.
deep. He was one of those deep,
Yeah.
deep. He's the true number one wide receiver. But the fact that he has Chris, if we can do, these route runs that we expect him to see what we saw out of college, maybe even better. Who
Mm-hmm.
knows of how many yards he's going to be putting up, the numbers he's going to be putting up. Like, Philly Foothills, what is good? Obviously, I'm really looking forward to see what these guys have in store. Obviously with Ryan Kerrigan to help us with the defensive line, um, Kayvon, Kayvon Wallace having potential, Anthony Harris balling out, Zach McPherson on the other hand, I thought I said give him like a year or two to develop, but the way, I don't know about the Jets though.
What
As
a
much,
jet game!
and look, I have no disrespect towards the Jets, and I understand,
It's not
the
happening.
yeah, it's really isn't.
That's definitely not happening. Hey, but shout out to the 14 in the chat. Yo, hit that like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to Bird Gang Nation Sports Talk. It'd be much appreciated. We're on the road to 400. We are 23 away from 400. So help your boy get there.
Oh
Also, hit up
yeah,
my boy over here, the Philly podcast, Sports Podcast. He is moving his way up the ladder, and we need to support everybody on this show.
I
So go hit that like. We're gonna try to see if we can. I'm gonna try to see if I can drop the pin in the comments. Can you do that? Are you by your computer? Drop it.
uh, I'm gonna have to go down, open up another tab and drop my you want me to drop my YouTube link?
Yeah, drop your YouTube in there and let these guys give you some subs, man.
Okay, just bear with me. But yeah, like I was saying, I feel like this people don't realize how much of a bright future that this team has. Like it's like people don't. It's like it's amazing.
Right?
Yeah, it's crazy to see the different opportunity. It's
I just
and
love I just love how the whole league looks at us and thinks of the Eagles as that 4 and what was it, 4-9, what four
yeah,
no
four. I think it was like four
four
nine,
14,
4 to left.
whatever we had last year. To the 16 games, so 4-12 team that we had last year, and that's like what they see us as. Like, oh, those are 4-12 teams, so they suck. Like we're the Jets or we're the Cleveland Browns for all them years, the Miami Dolphins
Oh
for all
god,
them
yeah,
years.
I
We're
still remember
a
the.
scrub franchise that ain't never did nothing in our lives, and we're just coming up. We got a few new players, and all of a sudden we're still gonna suck. Like I tell everybody, we win at a minimum of 10 games. If we the losing season for me would be if we only won 8-9 games. You know what I'm saying? Look at that, eight, even at 8 games, how many wins is that? 8 games, that's a 8-9. That means you lost 9 games. No, that's not a good season. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's tripping off the 12 and the 9-7
Like
year
his
we
think
had.
about it this way: 2017, we had a slow start, but when we finished the year with over we yeah, yeah, Philly Foothills. Like it's just like honestly, even though we finished tied with the Bengals, but I think we were a little bit better than the Bengals because
We should have won that game, man. That
it's
was
like
just
how the
trash.
fuck did we tie the Bengals? It's like how the hell do we tie them? It's like, but don't get me wrong. I mean, see, I feel like some of these first round picks, or the number one overall picks, like Joe Burrow, I thought it's to be expected because it's like this year was Trevor Lawrence. The year before was it Joe? Was it Joe Burrow last year? Oh God, I'm really blanking out on the draft.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We
So
were
somebody remind me.
4-11-1. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was right. Yeah, that one. That's garbage too. But we're not that team. Go
no,
back
not
50
anymore
years.
though.
Yeah, we're
That's
a perennial playoff team that definitely above 500 most years. So just to take that 1 year and try to make it as like that's the highlight and that's the whole scheme of the Eagles. So even if we get some of these young players to play right, we should be lucky to have 8 wins this season. That's garbage, man. I'm a strong
I have a
Eagles
feeling
fan.
that this Eagles might get double digit. Because at times, I thought, maybe because my buddy Brandon Lapp, he's another Eagles fan, but he lives out in Arizona. He said like if they were, I mean, at best we're like a 9 to 10 win team. But I'm thinking, and he also said if healthy, possibly 10 to 12. He said healthy wise, I think 12 to 14, maybe even 15.
Yeah. And we're
I
healthy
th-
and we're rocking on all cylinders,
and
baby.
and that's
I
the
got
huge key
13
with
and
this
4,
team.
12 and 5, the worst. And possible,
I
like you said, it can be anything up. We can go 17-0 if we're that good. Right.
Yeah, I
Seriously, with the
don't.
right coaching, that's
Oh
possible.
yeah,
Before,
but at the time when I
I'm not
made,
going
you know,
to, but I'm just saying the sky's the limit.
oh
Anything after
yeah,
10 is definitely possible.
because I was just thinking too. Like I said, at the worst, I feel like they were like a 17-7 win team at the worst. But if they stay healthy,
Seven,
which is I said 7 to 9. It was my typical range. But I said this, but if they are healthy, there's no reason we could have over 10 plus wins. I
oh
see.
yeah.
I see our highest is 17-0 as
Yeah.
our ceiling with this team because, like you said,
And
right,
our
the
floor
right,
is 10-7.
yeah, 10-7 is the floor.
You know, and
But if we can say
I'm not,
11,
I'm not even going to be stoked that we have 10-7. I'm just not going to be mad if we're 10-7.
yeah, it's just like you're not mad, you're not kind of it's like, I think if we fit, like hypothetically, if we can finish, let's say 13-4, like in a 17 game season, like I wouldn't be too.
Yeah,
That's a great
easily.
because the
Like you
last
said, we got a
because
favorable schedule.
oh
There's not too many people that can beat us. Like you can,
no,
like
not
I said, look at
really.
the schedule of who we play. Who you can say, oh, they're gonna beat us. None of them really.
No, not really.
Philly,
Because last
Kansas
year we
City,
had the worst.
State,
We had one
Tampa
of the worst
Bay, but we
schedules.
can beat both of those guys too.
Yeah, I mean,
What up, Luke?
well, yeah, I did drop my YouTube link, whatever.
It's in the comments.
Yeah, well, it's in the in the I dropped it in the chat, but I don't know if anybody caught
What
the link.
what is it? I don't see it in the link in the chat.
Uh, hang on, maybe I'll just do it.
Yeah, my boy's about to drop his link in the chat. Go ahead and subscribe to this guy. Oh, you got it in the private chat. You
Yeah,
got
because I don't because I have like people who are moderators of mine, so their links would be easier to access because I had the same problem with who was I
Well,
on with?
guys, can y'all go on and hold on? All right, we're taking care of that, my guy. We're taking care of that for you.
All right, let's try the.
Vic says our floor would be 7 games, and our ceiling would be 10 games. They would be 10.
I mean, we have
Man,
like
that's what I'm talking about. I don't even think that's good. 7 games. That's like really bad to me. That'd be garbage.
yeah.
Washington 7 games last year, so we know they were garbage. So to even wish that upon our team this year, to think that our team can't be better than the Washington team they had last year, is garbage. Like I think like I said, 10 games minimum, man. 10 games
Yeah.
minimum. What up, Eagle Nation? Dante, what you thinking, Dante? What's our floor and what's our ceiling? Everybody put in the chat floor and ceiling. We got Vic Three's floor and ceiling. He says 7 floor, 10 ceiling. What do you guys got our birds going this year? Help us out here. I
I
want to know.
think floor wise, from for the way that I see it, I say 9's our floor, but highest I say between 14 and 15 as our floor as our ceiling.
There it is. Hit my boy
Thank
up.
you,
That link.
thank you, Mrs.
You know,
BIRDGANG.
where you at right now? Subs.
Right now, I should have had 110, but obviously with the YouTube BS, they took one away, so I'm at 109. So
All
my
right.
next,
I'm trying to
my
get this guy to 150, guys.
at least
You know,
150, so it'll be
let's get
easier
this
for me to
guy up there.
have
He's
because
moving.
my next milestone is 200. So,
Yeah.
and I tweeted out this too because because me and 90s were talking about this, so I tweeted this out. I thought about signing my baseball, having my own autograph on baseballs as a giveaway item. I thought myself like that's stupid when you think about it. But then Nightings had to hold.
It's
That's
tight.
just was that?
It's tight. You never know when you become a
Yeah.
celebrity from doing this. People might think, oh, I don't
Actually,
want
that
that right
now I
now.
never now that she
But
mentioned it, I've really
bro,
never thought of that because
you
at
got
first it's like
33,000 subscribers. You got all your
oh
advertising going
Luke
on.
had
You
floor.
doing this big. It's
Wait,
like,
Luke,
hey,
yeah,
that
Luke
ball.
had. Yeah, Luke has got his floor in the ceiling.
Okay.
I
Says
that's
8 floor, 11 ceiling. All right. I like. Yeah,
that's
I like the. I'm never always are good with the floor part. That's like
yeah,
I
because it's
understand.
because like
I
like the
understand that's
question
the
is, it's like,
lowest, but
but
man,
I don't think they're going to really have that bad of a floor though. That's the thing. Like at best, I feel like, a floor. I think
like
floor
that.
might be 10 because I think we're like so well built. Like it's hard to
With
tell.
the roster we have, the talent we have,
It's
and
like there's
the coaches we have, I can't
it's
go
hard.
under double digits.
Like
That's just me.
10, I think 10 might be the I don't know, say the best floor, but the most reasonable floor. Uh,
Let's see.
she
Yeah,
says
zero
17 and
and
0 as
feeling.
well.
All right, Nikki. All right, I get
I
it.
love. I know. I know.
That's the
I know.
truth, though. The
There's
ultimate
no
score
there is a
is
possibility we could if we
is
could
0 wins. You know how mad people will be if we only got 0 wins? They
oh god, we're gonna be so.
We're talking about everybody getting fired.
Oh
We're
yeah,
starting over with a
I
whole
still
new
remember
team next year. If we
like
only got
Detroit.
0 wins, and just fire
Just think
everybody.
about it
Salary,
because
the trainers, the
like
medical
everybody's gonna
staff,
get,
the damn
but
scouts,
I don't.
every coach,
But
every
I see.
freaking player,
Like,
all fired. We're gonna have an infinity amount of cap space going into next year.
oh, yeah, I mean that's a possibility, but
Oh man.
I mean with the schedule they have, like Vic said, obviously minus the three tough games, but I don't see there's a possibility we could go undefeated because the way that this team is built. But yeah, Nikki said that would suck. I mean,
Yeah,
like
we have one good player on the team next year, Nikki, with the 0 wins. It'll be whoever we drafted with that first pick of the draft will be the only good player because everybody else will get fired. Heck
yeah,
yeah, that was super
but
suck.
yeah, like I mean, right now, like you said, because we have so much talent on this team, it's like as much as I know that some are going to get assigned to the practice squad, but I think overall we're such a well built franchise. Well,
Yeah,
now we are, but not compared to what we were a couple handful of years ago.
just
But now
really
we
last.
get
I guess it was a down season 2 years ago, but we
yeah
were
two
still in
seasons.
the playoffs. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, so last
I
year's like
mean
1 year out of what, like 10 years that you'd be like,
yeah,
oh
because
my
like think about it,
god.
because like 2017,
All the rest of
2018,
them, man, we ball out, man. We
yeah,
ball.
we went to the playoffs those in in two consistent years. Then
After winning the
we had that one
Super Bowl.
clunker season, and then
Yeah.
and that's the thing too. I've been part, and I mean, I had a lot of clunker seasons in my career. So yeah, so I've been part of that. So yeah, that's a horrible feeling to.
Man, I've been watching the Birds for a long time. I've
Yeah,
seen
I st-
some bad Bird
and that's the thing
teams
too.
for
Like
a
with the
while. We didn't
Eagles,
have a
as much
quarterback.
and I love Jonathan Gannon, but I don't think nobody's going to have a better defensive coordinator than Jim Johnson.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion because you
But
guys
he's
had.
bringing back some of those type characteristics like Blixie, cover
Uh,
twos. We're gonna actually have cornerback help this year. We got a better line. Plus, we're gonna be Blixie. Those are big, huge differences. The biggest number one thing that's really gonna change our defense this year is we got an offense. I think is gonna be able to run the ball and stay on the field instead of just keep on three and out, three and out, three and
yeah,
out.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And I
Three.
feel a feeling, and this is where I think Miles Sanders is really going to take the
Oh
spotlight.
yeah,
Because
he's
think
going
about
to
it, because now you're
global
going to have
this year.
athletic offensive linemen. They're going to open up huge holes, and he's just going to Sanders is going to run across a lot of teams. It's like I mean, I see it, and that's the thing too. I'm feeling that this team. Let's say I mean, as much as I would like to see them go undefeated, to prove everybody's side side,
That'd be
like we
so
don't.
off.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing too. It's like it sheds the message like you're gonna hate on us. Like we're gonna like our record and like the players and the how much and the talent that we have. Miles Sanders, Kenneth Gainwell, on Johnson, Ryan Carey. Like it's an all combination of things. We have a couple of aging players, but this team is very young. I mean, the youngest I think is what I think Jalen Young was like either 23 or 24. Well, then again, I think we got Zach McPherson. I think he's 22. So yeah, yeah. I'm trying to get I'm trying to get eight more people in my. I'm gonna try to do. my fantasy football, because right now, this year I'm actually doing fantasy baseball,
That'd
which
be
is crazy.
good though to be able to pick up Miles in like the fifth or sixth round. I'd do it because running backs are always the best in fantasy football. You need to get those
Oh
running.
yeah, that's what people are telling me. Like they're getting a lot of
Yeah.
fantasy points out of running backs,
Oh yeah, because that's catching and running. So
and I think this is where I feel if
like everybody's number one draft pick probably gonna be Derrick Henry.
yeah, I mean the dude's
Back,
a freaking cheat code. He's a cheat code
back.
running back.
If I go on
And
first,
look, don't get me
if I'm in
wrong.
your league and I'm going first, you know who I got already. Got I ain't scared to tell you, Derrick Henry's coming to my team.
Like for me,
Not
because
all-
like my number one. See, I might have to. I might have to send you my link to the my ESPN fantasy if anybody wants else to join because
Yeah, I'm down to join. Like I'm in like 2-0,
uh
but I'm down.
yeah, because I need
I have 17 fantasy teams, and
I need
just
8 more people though. That's the thing because I'm still kind of new, and that's the thing. I'm still kind of new to the fantasy game, so I'm still getting my feet wet,
yeah.
basically. Like baseball wise, the very first, and I had the very first pick that I did. I took Tatis number one as my first fantasy pick, and he actually did pretty well for me though. And I followed. I mean, I've been had to go through here and there on a lot of things. But as much as the crazy as it seems, but if I went first, Miles Sanders would be my number one overall pick, just because of the Eagles bias. Because
Hey, I've had a lot of fantasy Eagle bias team. Usually, I make one team specifically for that. But yeah, there's definitely some players I'm getting on my fantasy league this year. I'm definitely getting Miles Sanders, like you said, Hurts, Devontae, Goddard, the Eagles.
I mean,
I'm
exactly.
getting the Eagles defense. I always have the Eagles defense every year. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's just like and that's the thing too. Like the way, and I like this team that's getting younger. Obviously minus Lane Johnson was he's got to be what 34. Okay, I might have to
Whoa,
double
niggas
because I'm
going deep on ESPN.
and look, that's the only one I could. I mean, I know because at the time because ESPN was the only one I found when it comes to the fantasy stuff. Yahoo, I didn't know Yahoo can do that. So yeah. So cut me some slack here because like I said earlier,
I'm
I
join him and help out
yeah.
his fantasy.
Because right now the only I have Nightings in there as well. He's so technically with I will need 7 more because Nightings is the other one that I had for my fantasy football. And I'm like I have like 2 fantasy. I'm part of 2 fantasy. Well, I have mine and my buddy David Folks. He also does fantasy as well, but he does fantasy baseball. So it's actually fantasy baseball. A lot of people think it's not that hard to. I mean, because baseball is my primary sport to pay attention. Different to the different prospects and what all that stuff. It's
We're supposed to like Mitch got a fantasy football team that a lot of us are in. I forgot the name of it though, but I know Mitch got one. I think it is under Yahoo. A fantasy. I know I'm in that league too. I don't know when we're doing the draft though. I need to hit Mitch up about that one actually. But Mitch definitely does have a fantasy football team, and I think like JC's in it. I know that much, and I know like a couple other people. Like I think Big Play Slay. Yeah, there's a bunch of content creators in his.
yeah. I heard, and now I know Jim has one because that I saw.
But yeah, you can never have too many fantasy football. I like it.
Yeah,
I just like drafting to see how it shapes out. Seeing what kind of players people want on their team. To make a successful team because there is some strategy to it.
yeah, and that's the thing too, because like with fantasy baseball, like I just put my GM because I played so much of the MLB The Show franchise mode. I just imagine myself put my thinking cap on like who do I want to take first overall, like who's going to fit where, that
Hmm.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I mean because I also back then I used to play a
Start
lot
us
of
on your Yahoo account. Start us to fantasy football,
yeah because
and we all go join your fantasy football.
yeah I might
I have all the Eagle content creators on my page on my fantasy football league. They put Bird Gang in there. Bird Gang 31 definitely playing.
I'm down because it's like I because that's the thing too. Like, because I like fantasy wise, it's like I had some players in my fantasy baseball league that does. I did Zach Wheeler when I picked him up in my fantasy, he's got to be like over like triple digits when it comes to fantasy points. Like most, I think he's ever got me like was like 360 was my highest he's ever gotten for me in my fantasy league, my fantasy baseball league, by the way. Because obviously I found because obviously you know
The only thing I don't like about fantasy football is, when you're playing a team that the Eagles are playing and you want the Eagles to win, but the other team's best player needs to have a touchdown or something, and that can cost you the game. And you're sitting
yeah,
there,
like some of those
come
parlay
on, no, I need you to score a touchdown, but I don't want you to score a touchdown.
they have some leagues that
Get one for
are
my
like
team.
parlay
I need
leagues.
this game.
Like he's gonna like cost you some money. I don't see those are the ones I don't like. It's like those where you hit like I just enjoy it for the fun of it. That's kind of what my thing is.
Yeah,
I'm like,
and
actually,
even then, I just hate losing. So you're sitting there.
yeah,
Whenever you got a player going against the Eagles, of course I want the Eagles to win, no matter what fancy, whatever.
exactly. I think most Eagles
But
content creator would want that.
it's just like the Eagles down by 7 in the fourth quarter, or down by 6 in the fourth quarter, and you're playing like the Steelers, and you need Claypool to score a touchdown, and it's like, come on, come on, Claypool, but don't come on, because I don't want to lose this game.
Yep. Well, yeah. I mean, I thought, yeah,
Yes, victory. Eagles always first. That's what I'm talking about, my
yep.
guy.
I mean, very, dude.
But
This
it is
is
still hard though, like when you're rooting for your player because you want to win. Like if it's in the playoffs or something like that, that's
yeah.
when.
That's a whole different
If
situation.
it's the beginning of the season, then yeah, whatever. Eagles, we gonna win.
Oh, trust me. Like, I agree with Nikki
Play
right.
Slay, that's my guy.
I
Also
agree with Nikki right
support
here
Play
because
Slay channel. He's
you know,
moving, he's grinding, he's getting
yeah,
up there. Sub this guy up. He has great content.
yeah, he does. Hey, because like, I watch a lot of Eagles like Philly sports commentators like RB, DJ Eastwood, um, obviously you, Mitch, Tyler.
I
I'm
never
actually
have cowgirls on my defense or on my no
no,
cowgirls allowed.
because for me, because when I have my
No
fantasy
giants
baseball,
allowed.
because that's the
No
thing.
no
I
namers
mean,
allowed. None of that.
nah, no,
Never pick.
that should be like a
I don't
number
care
one.
how good they are.
Nah, because it's like I mean, because with my fantasy baseball, majority of the players I have are Phillies players. I mean, I excluding Tatis because I Tatis. Don't get me wrong, Tatis Jr. is something special to watch. Something that we haven't. When Mike Trout came up in 2011. Now, and I said, and the funny thing is, I still troll White Sox fans for making that trade to the Padres because they gave up James Shields in exchange. The Padres gave up James Shields in exchange for Fernando Tatis Jr. During that, I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me! But in the end, obviously, we all knew the Padres won that one, and we know how is that. Antonio, well,
No,
yeah, it's just like
no. See, now you got yourself a Washington guy on the team, man.
I don't know.
The
Bergen, I
no
don't know if you've ever paid attention. James Washington is actually requesting a trade from Pittsburgh. I don't know if you're keeping up on that.
I seen
Mitch,
that. I
yeah,
don't.
Mitch dropped a video about that. I was like, do I don't. I think we're very solid at the wide receiver position.
If we get like I said, if we picked up anybody, there's only like one free agent receiver, and a lot of people don't even want to pick him up. But I'll be down to pick him up, and that's Fitzgerald. You know,
What,
he'll be old,
which is a shame though.
be
Like the guy who spent his entire
reliable.
yeah reliable, but it's a shame. I mean, dude's a Hall of Famer, but it's just like I hate to see him go out if
He
he
hasn't
wants to.
had a bad season yet.
No, he really doesn't. But the fact, because I want to see him, and I know it's just crazy to sound, but I really want him to win a ring in his Hall of Fame career. At least get one,
Right.
because it's like we all knew that how bad Arizona, and I still remember years when Arizona was just complete like this one of those teams that you do not want to get traded to.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me. It kind of brought me to comparison to where I made. I didn't. I made like a mental, and I told a couple high school friends. We kind of joked about the Detroit Pistons, where most old players go there to die. Their careers go to die,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like what now? Having what Cliff Kingsbury has done in the last in his cup he's been what like 2-3 years with Arizona. He
Yeah.
really has turned that franchise around. Bringing Kyler Murray, who I would have thought he would have went to could have been what the
And I think Jalen Hurts is better than Murray.
Yeah, I mean that's not a bad thing, because I think because those two, I mean, they were teammates, but they had a great game on their respective teams. I'm not
Yeah.
there's not gonna lie with that. I thought out of the games that I mean the Saints game was good, but I feel like the best game that showed what Jalen Hurts is capable of is the Arizona Cardinals game.
Yeah, because he threw for over 300 yards and
E-
still rushed for over 100 yards.
yeah,
That's
exactly, like
elite right there.
that's an elite quarterback, which I
Yeah.
don't.
Boom. What up, my guy?
And look, I
That's
mean,
fan talking crazy. Because
yeah,
Giants suck. And they just
they
want any kind
well, and that's the
of
thing too. Like, I don't
notoriety.
because here's the thing. My grandmother's a Giants fan. She grew up in the era where Lawrence Taylor was, Lawrence Taylor. She loved Lawrence Taylor. She was like a Lawrence. She was a huge Lawrence Taylor fan growing up. And it's like because for me, myself and my grandpa were Eagles fans, but she's the only Giants fan in the family.
Oh, man.
But when it comes to because my family down in Florida, they're a bunch. They love hockey. They love the Tampa Bay Lightning. I was like, my God. See, hockey's one. That's the thing too. Hockey's one of those things. It's like now with the addition of the Seattle Kraken into the league, it's like, okay, I might get back into watching the hockey because they're playing my Flyers twice, and I can't wait for that. Because me and my grandfather were talking about this too. A possible name for a hockey team in Seattle. The one came to he said it was the Kraken. It's like, think to myself, actually that's not a bad. That's actually a great name because there's a lot of things you can do. Like he said, maybe like release the Kraken when the home team comes out. This is like it just makes sense. Now you're a couple of years later. Now you got the Seattle Kraken becoming a thing, and unfortunately, I really hope I want to see the Seattle SuperSonics come back to Seattle. Man, you got.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think because it's funny. I still remember because I was like I kind of grew up on their back half before. Actually, by the time they relocated, I like Aldridge's.
Right?
Yeah, make them run laps. It's funny, but I mean,
I think it was just like when it got your top four, right?
and
And
then you got
everything after that is kind of like, well, okay, what if they possibly can be, they could be dynamic, but like there's a lot of pressure off everybody this year just because we don't. It's not like we're just heavy in the pass and not heavy in the run, or heavy in the run, not heavy.
exactly. Or then
We are
you guys
so balanced at each level, tight ends, receivers, and running backs. Got so much talent there that none of them have to be superstars. They just all got to do their job. If
exactly,
everybody
and
don't
that
come in do their job, we're gonna have an electric offense. Everybody's
exactly. We're going to be put up on like serious offensive numbers as a team, especially on the running game. I feel the running game is really going to take shape. But yeah, I mean, it's
my God.
that I don't know.
We're gonna be streaming it here on this channel and being uncensored. Uh, episode number 2 of BIRDGANG Nation Uncensored at
Yeah,
7 o'clock. We're gonna be streaming on my channel, so you can come watch there if you like, buddy.
yeah. I didn't look. Don't remind. I already got that reminder set, so I can't
Right?
wait for that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing too. I
I
feel
can't
like,
for it, man.
and I know that we have a good receiver core, but I think what's going to really stand out to us is the running game because now we got three. I mean, honestly, we could put Pro Bowl caliber running backs because Gainwell, I actually enjoyed watching in college. On Johnson, I thought he has some potential, but obviously the Detroit kind of screwed him over. But
Yes.
I think having him now under the right coaching staff, I feel that's really is what's going to bring out that Pro Bowl potential.
Yeah.
And then obviously Miles Sanders is
Like,
going to
I've
have
watched enough highlights from on to know that he's good, and he's the best pass blocker we got back there.
exactly. I think we have and then as much as I like Jordan Howard, but I don't think he's got nothing on carrying.
I'm over Howard, really.
Yeah, I'm why do we still even
Had
have
your
that?
chance, when
And this is
you
another
got
thing
the
too.
most
Like, why the
thinker,
same with Elijah Holyfield? He's another guy that I'm thinking to myself, why do we still have Elijah Holyfield?
Well,
I
that's
heard
one I don't think even really have gotten a chance. Have you seen him in camp though? That
I
dude's ripped and big as
that's
hell.
like that's
Like
like
he might
ooh.
be good short yardage.
I heard Adrian Keelis is also balling out too. I was like, who's this guy? I know about Holyfield because obviously we all know who his dad is. Vander Holyfield, one of
Like
the
I said,
boxers.
I got uncensored. He's at the practice. He's gonna be. We're gonna be on our show together. He's gonna be streaming it on here. So, like I said, yeah. But if you find
It's
to get it too, the more ways, the better. The more ways.
yeah,
But
but yeah, like
come check it
killing.
out. 7 p.m. when they
I
start their
think another
practice. Uncensored will be live reported at the practice.
Ryan Matthews. How far Ryan
He said,
Matthews?
"I'm so glad we're done with Ryan Matthews days."
Oh
Right?
god, I haven't heard that name in fucking forever.
That was a while back.
God damn. Well, yeah, I think another guy I feel like who's going to really have a. I think it may sound. I don't know if it sound crazy, but I think homegrown talent Sean Bradley out of Temple. I feel like I think he could a possibility have a breakout because I feel like we haven't really seen what he can do.
Yeah, Bradley's
Killings is
been in camp.
Adrian Killings is another.
I'm really excited to see the what's his name? D- D- Taylor.
Davion Taylor.
John Taylor, yeah.
Yeah, it's just
He's
like
been beasting in practice.
yeah. I see.
So
There's a lot of guys that we don't even know that they're still with the Eagles and are balling out. Like it's like I was like, man, like it's because if the coach like you're going to make it, that's going to be a hard decision to make because you have a lot of guys got or who are balling out like crazy. It's like it's hard. Like who do you keep or who do you send out of the practice squad? Like it's tough. It's like I was like, man, I think as much as I wanted to, and see Sean Brown is one of those people. Like it's like I said, I would like to see him like do more because obviously we all know he's with Eagles picked him up from
like
Temple grad, homegrown talent.
I want to see do the best. Obviously, the Davion Taylor, Wilson, and Singleton.
Oh
Those are
yeah,
the big three. Now, when we're rotating linebackers in, Bradley, I want to see when you're getting rotated in, do your thing. What's the other guy's name again? TJ Edwards. When you're in the game, I don't want it to be a fall off when these guys are taking breaks. You know what I'm saying? I want all. That's why I think we
and I
have a lot
think
of speed
and
and
same
depth.
with Alex Singleton. I feel like he's
Yeah.
going to get better from here on out.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And right,
just,
we got so much speed, especially on that offensive side. Like I don't think the reason why we're going to be so explosive is just there's not that many fast people on defense. You know what I'm saying? And not every team even got fast cornerbacks or
no,
fast safeties or fast linebackers. They have something, like that are that fast that they're going to be able to keep up with like elite speed, like
oh
the
yeah,
likes of Smith,
Devontae. I feel like Devontae Smith's going to torch a lot
Wes
of.
Watkins, how blazing he's been.
Oh, I heard he's got some.
Wes is looking like what's his name? Tyreek Hill out there, my guy.
Oh, that's the comparison everybody's comparing
But
him
he's
to.
taller than Tyreek.
I heard. Yeah, well, I know him and Hightower got the hype, but I think Quest Walk. I see as much. Quest Watkins was one of my. It's like one of my other favorite receivers because with the right coaching staff, he's gonna really show that speed. Same with Devontae Smith. It's like guys like that are really gonna torch a lot of people. It's just like
Monday's just gonna be wide open all the time because he's gonna have these.
dude, he's like a huge target. I mean,
off
like I'm
the
saying,
line.
it's like he's gonna run. Like if you need him, he's got good route run, but you can also use him as a deep threat too because he's got the speed for it. Because we've seen, because I know I think did he? I feel like I don't know if he played with Tua or not that one. I think he did. I think because this is because I know Jalen Hurts
and Jones, all
yeah,
three of
yeah. It's just like now because it's just like I was like I'm thinking to myself, I was like maybe there's some potential here between a very good quarterback and wide receiver duo.
Oh
And
yeah.
obviously now we see now in Eagles Midnight Green. And to be honest, and this is what I like to see, for what I've been hearing is I can't wait for the Kelly Green to come back because I was always familiar with the Midnight Green, Midnight Green, because my grandfather, on the other hand, was part of the Kelly Green era with Buddy Ryan, with guys like Randall Cunningham, Herschel Walker, Reggie White. Oh God, I'm surprised I still remember those kinds of. And this is and I found this, and I did, and me and my grandfather were talking, and I was saying this too. Like I feel with when what Randall Cunningham did during this time, like no other quarterback, there was no other quarterback like Randall Cunningham.
Yeah,
Because you got to
I
think
don't.
too, like
That's
he
why I
set
don't
the
understand why they don't got him in the freaking Hall of Fame yet, man.
exactly. Now you got Harold
He changed
Carmichael.
the game. You know, he changed the game. Cunningham should
Exactly.
definitely be in the
Think
pro
of it, he was
Hall of
the
Fame.
blueprint for the modern day quarterback. You know, you got
Yeah.
without there wouldn't be Jalen Hurts without well, I mean that might be a stretch, but I'm just saying where you got to put into perspective during that time period of football.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I mean, Harold Carmichael, I know was way overdue, even though he was before my time. But at least he's. But I'm still blown away. It's like, why would you have like the blueprint for the modern day, mobile quarterbacks, just not in the hall, man? And we look, it's just like I don't know. I mean, it's crazy to think about.
Atrocious
It is a troll. And like, look,
and
I don't
highly
even.
disrespectful.
Yeah, I
Get
mean,
Big
look,
12 in this Hall of
yeah,
Fame ASAP.
God, I, God, I watched a few quarterbacks in my growing up. God, Dante Culpepper was one of them. I remember, and I don't even. God, I remember I had his jersey one time. I forgot where I put it, but I had to find it somewhere. Randy Moss is another. I know Randy Moss was a wide receiver, but he was one of those wide receivers I actually enjoyed watching because he had that like certain swag to him during that when he came out of the draft. And I think it was his son a tight end in college. I'm not entirely forgot what position he was, but he's another one that I forgot he's playing. I don't know. Did his son get drafted? Or was it his nephew? I am blurry blanking out on this.
I know about Randy Moss's son.
Yeah,
He's
that's
quite a few. He's on somebody's team right now, but
yeah. I heard
he's
about
not
that.
like
It's
he's
like,
super great or nothing. But
but I don't think he's. I don't think
he's an NFL player, so that's cool.
See, I would think Manette is also another one that's deserving of the Hall of Fame.
I'd be
As much as I know,
so mad if Romo made it before
dude,
Donnie.
Romo's not even a Hall of Famer,
Oh,
and it's just like,
that'd be bad.
oh my god, that's so.
I already begged the way they
I
voted
think
for
all Eagles fans are going to revolt because of that. Like, there's
him.
some that deserve it. I mean, look, even when Peyton Manning was still in the league, I had a feeling he was good. He was like one of those quarterbacks that really deserved it. I mean, obviously
Yeah, some
because
people probably deserve it the first year they retire.
I
No way,
mean,
you know.
see, and me and Nate were talking about this too. We did a voice chat on Discord. He asked me this question: do you think Eli deserves to be a Hall of Fame? I said, I don't know though. That's the problem. The only reason why I think there's a possibility because he's the only quarterback that beat Tom Brady twice.
Yeah.
See, that's the only case I can think.
It was clutch in some games, man.
Yeah, but I feel like somebody told me
Yeah,
he lucked in something to one.
Eli
I
might just get in there just off of name recognition.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying because now you got Arch Manning. Now he's really starting to heat up as a prospect. It's like, see now that see
First round
that's
draft pick. He has two Super Bowl MVPs, I think, and
yeah. It's like there's a lot of accolades he's racked up.
he's
Even
made
though I think
Pro
Peyton Manning has
Bowls.
had a longer career than Eli. And look, I'm not going to lie. Even Eli. See that I feel that's just what's going to go against him. That's that terrible record against the division.
That's
But
true.
if you take that away, but I think he's got some good accolades of what he's accomplished through. God, how long has he been in the league for? Like over a decade? Because I know Peyton Manning has been Eli. Because I know Eli came a little bit
Yeah,
late.
they're definitely on two different levels, except for I think Eli
Oh,
had.
that's right. Because Eli is part of the. It was. I still remember that '05. That '05 draft was crazy between him, Ben Roethlisberger, and
River.
God, Rivers and Aaron Rodgers all fall into the green. I just think about. No, wait. That was no. Wait, was it? No, because I think Rodgers was part of the. Was it '05 or '04? Because oh my god, I seen it on and I rewatched it on the NFL Network. It's really starting to piss me. Wait, what? No, because no, it wasn't. I think it was 2006. Oh my god, I'm really blanking out because it's been such a very long time since you hear like guys like when young Aaron Rodgers, young Phillip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger, still my least favorite quarterback. Well, not my least favorite as Tony Romo, but I mean, there's no, I mean, hate the
And the
Steelers with me.
thing was, he was really pretty good in the regular season. He just never did nothing in the playoff,
Exactly.
and
But
that's what matters. For you
but
to get
yeah,
to the Super Bowl, to get to two Super Bowls in your career, that's a
and
good.
you beat a no doubt Hall of Famer as a rookie by all stretch of the imagination. It's like, okay, so now I mean, so you're not going to be. I think Peyton kind of really took the spotlight because
Oh
Eli.
yeah,
I feel like Eli was always in the shadow,
yeah. Like Eli's not no top 10 quarterback of all time or nothing.
but he has some good. He had
But
he had a decent career. Despite the fact he had a like Nikki said, had a terrible record against his division. But it's just like I have no disrespect to what Eli has accomplished, but I don't think, like you said, he's not going to be as in the same league of his
he might
brother
not be
Peyton.
first ballot Hall of Famer.
But
He he
there's
could
a
be
possible,
maybe like the fifth or sixth try to get him in.
yeah.
One of those
And
guys
for
like
old Eagles
Carmine.
fans, and that's the thing too. Like, people and I still remember this too. People were petitioning to get Harold Carmichael into the Hall of Fame because
Yeah.
there's like some players like him, just kind of was really overdue. So now, having him. Oh, I remember the Monday Night Massacre, man. That brings back some memories. Terrell Owens returned to Philly, shut out.
Yeah.
See, T.O. God, I had mixed emotions about T.O.
Theo was a beast.
He was, but the only issue was it was his attitudes. What kind of, like I said, I had mixed emotions about him. He was a beast. Not getting it wrong, but I still remember a few times where he got hit from behind. Him disrespect. When he got to play for the 49ers, and I still remember this, when he disrespected Dallas, it's like, what, that could have been one of my. Even though I never really was interested in the Niners, but the fact that he was part of the Niners at that one point in time, literally saying, disrespecting the Dallas Stars, I say what I just find that hilarious, but I just like, hey, look, even though people really, and look, he was a great wide receiver for us too. Like, he kind of just, I don't know, but it was pretty fun, to actually kick him in Dallas to the curb during that one year. Was it like 45 something
Yeah.
that one year? It's like, I was like, you're talking. It's like, you're all that talk, but we want to beating your ass.
Yeah.
Was that How long was that? God, that would have been what, early 2000s, like before this. That had to be during what, 2004. Oh God, I'm really like, there's something like it's hard to look back on it, but now you're seeing all in all that, man. That's just like when it comes to the all time Eagles, like I have like a few in mind. Like Deshaun Jackson's one of them.
Wait. Hold on. Before you go into that list, that this is part of the show. You can't just go into it on your own. I have to bring it in, baby. It's
My
a
bad.
part of the show. Every
And
first
I mean,
time
I have
guest got to go through the all-time favorite Eagles list, and we are on that time. So we're gonna start out with give me your quarterback and who's backing them up. Two
oh,
quarterbacks all time. Give it to me.
quarterback Donovan McNabb. As much at the And that's the thing too, because it's like with McNabb, even though he wasn't the fleetest of the quarterbacks, but he had a great arm strength and know how to take a hit. The backup, see, that's tough because it's the only one I can think of who had a good career as a backup was Nick Foles. Because it's like, I mean, as much as I hate to say that, because that's the only one who actually was
Well, they
the
don't have to have been a backup their whole. They could have been a starter.
well.
But
And I'm
like,
saying that's because Nick Foles is the only one that comes to mind when it comes to like backups, because I didn't start getting to the Eagles till like the early 2000s, like when McNabb came along, T.O. came along. So McNabb was the only starting quarterback that I
put
knew.
Carson
But the fact,
in there, you can put who else been in there since then? Bradford, Carson, man.
oh, don't get me started on Sam. Ugh, do not get me started on Sam Brad and or just Sheldon. Oh, don't die. That's like, but yeah, Donovan McNabb was my starting quarterback because as much as people didn't like him, but
Big
I mean,
five. You gotta say five NFC championships and enough said.
yeah, exactly. That's say five
Yeah.
MSC. I mean,
Right.
that's all you have to say.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, back up, I would say Nick Foles.
Okay. So give me three running backs.
Three running backs. Oh, that's good. Oh, this is going to be an easy one. LaShawn McCoy is going to be my starter,
Okay.
or was going to be one of them. Miles Sanders, because there's a potential there, and oh crap, I mean this be a stretch, but I say carry on. Actually, you know what? Does it have to be like a pat? Okay, so because I had LaShawn McCoy and Miles Sanders, but could it be any like pass eagle? Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Got
okay.
it.
So
Give
I'm right.
me
Second. Okay, second. I guess I
three.
see LeGarrette Blunt.
Oh, that's the first time LeGarrett's made the list. I like
I've always, for there's something about LeGarrette Blunt that I've
it.
always liked. I like his
Love
like
the
he like
plays.
dragging people behind him. Like he's
That's
got
good. See,
that's a
that's
good
what I love about this part of the show because every time a new member joins the list, and I love it. Give me four receivers.
four receivers. Number one's To Deshaun Jackson. Let me think here. God, there's some different ones over the years. Uh, oh, I can't. There's one that's really on the tip of my tongue, and I can't really think of his name though. It's really annoying me. Uh, I would say Devontae Smith, but it's too early to tell.
He was on my list.
Really?
Yeah.
See, for me, I thought it's. I think it's too. For me, I thought it was too early to tell because we
Wear
have
the jersey, you qualify.
that. Okay. So that makes perfect sense, though. Okay, so I guess maybe Devontae Smith because of all the hype that he's bringing around. So I feel like, I mean, Audrey said he's going to be. I feel like that's. I mean, I couldn't agree more with that statement. See,
So,
that's three.
so you said Deshaun Jackson, T.O., and Devontae Smith?
Yes, and oh god, I remember his name, but I just really can't think of it. It's really starting to piss me off, though. Yeah, I can't think of his name though. That's really annoying. But those are my wide receivers. But I can't think of the fourth one though.
You have to give me one more. You got
Uh,
Jeremy Macklin. You got Fred Barnett. You
oh
got
god, Jeremy Mack. Oh, I forgot about Jeremy Macklin.
uh,
Oh, that really
Dalton,
that fucking hurts me.
Dalton, Kevin Curtis. Uh,
It's the last. That was the last person the last receiver had over
yeah.
had 1,000 yards. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. 2014. I think it's 2014. He said. I think he almost had 2,000 yards that year. Okay, so yeah, so those are my four receivers.
All right, so you got Macklin in there. All right, well, give me two tight ends.
Two tight ends. Okay, Zach Ertz is one of them because Eagles fans are not going to hate him because he's done a lot for the city of Philadelphia.
Right.
And I say Dallas Goedert because I feel like, well, actually, not Dallas Goedert, but Brent Selleck is another one I actually enjoy watching over the years. It's like, people don't realize it's like when it comes to tight ends, like he was like the Zach Ertz before Ertz was, himself.
Yeah.
And it's like because like when he retired, he passed the torch to Ertz. And now when Ertz is when Ertz is done, he's going to do that to Dallas Goedert. So it's kind of like a routine cycle passing the torch of the tight ends.
For that, Chad Lewis.
He was one of those names I don't remember.
Okay. So now give me your starting offensive line.
Oh, offensive line, Jason Kelsey, because I just love his grittiness, and Lane Johnson.
But that's a tackle and a center. You still need
You're talking about the.
all the way across.
Oh, so does it have to be anybody of like doesn't matter what position? Oh
Well,
shit!
it's good to try to keep him in position, but if you get stuck on one, you want to make somebody like say you want to make like JPP at guard or something like that. You can like that. What up, my guy? Thanks for checking out the pod.
Uh, I mean, I sort of defensive line though. That's the thing. That can go. I mean, Kelsey, because I feel like Jason Kelsey is the most I can remember. Because to be honest,
now, you can use players from now.
Yeah, I'm trying to think though. That's the thing because
I'm out there for you for like another tackle. You got Trey Thomas, JPP.
Jeremiah Trotter. I forgot about him.
That's on the defense. We're talking about we got finish.
Offensive. I forgot about Jeremiah Trotter on the defensive side though. That's the thing. I forgot. I still remember his name.
I think that was Chad Lewis.
Yeah. I mean,
You got
Jason
Evan Mathis. You got Hank Fraley. You got That's
Evan
about
Mathis, I wouldn't have guessed. Same with
Todd Herman, Tyler Harriman,
uh, I would have kind of
Brandon
guessed that.
Brooks.
Oh God, well, no, oh, yeah, bro, Brandon. Yeah, for me, yeah. See, I would have gone to Kelsey because at the time it's just like, well, I know he's a center, but when it comes to the offensive line, like you said, there's a lot that the Eagles had over the years.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess Evan Mathis because it's like he was one of those ones that's like it's like some people may not have guessed, but it's like I'm one of those included. It's like I would never have guessed Evan Mathis at one point in time. But yeah, those wait, does it have to be all of the offensive line all the way across by any chance? Because
Well,
I'm
yeah,
kind of
you got right now. You got Lane Johnson, Brooks, Kelsey, Evan Mathis. You need one more.
I guess Todd Harriman. I thought he was an okay player for
Todd
the Eagles
Herman.
during
Yep, that's good. So
like
now,
others. Like you see, others I wouldn't have
uh,
guessed.
give me your defensive line.
Jeremiah Trotter, Fletcher
Wait, wait,
Cox,
line.
defensive line.
Yeah, you gotta give me four.
Oh, four on the defensive line. Okay, Fletcher
What about my guy?
Cox on the start. I mean, Jason Peters when he was really good. Let's see, that's two. I guess it's a chart. No.
Like Brandon Graham. You got
Oh,
the
uh,
free Javon Curse. You got
Devon Curse. I see Devon Curse. I wouldn't guess.
Reggie
God,
White, Jerome Brown.
Jerome. Wait, we had Jerome Brown though. Okay, I guess Jerome Brown and Brandon Graham because like the others I wouldn't have guessed. Because like I
Okay.
said, I didn't get started to the early
I
two
throw them out there
thousands.
so you can help. It can help. It can help you fill up your little holes there. What up, Eddie? Thanks for joining in, my guy. So now we got three linebackers. We
Three
already said Trotter already. We already know that.
Trotter.
And
Jeremiah Trotter.
so
Trying
give
to
me two
think.
more linebackers.
Oh crap! Linebackers. I could guess Alex Singleton because of how much he has produced, and yes, two. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna say Eric Wilson
Okay, that's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Good
because
that linebacker, Eric
if
Wilson,
it
is
because
on the all-time
yeah
Eagle League. I like it. All right, so give me three cornerbacks.
corners. Okay. Slay, Steven Nelson are my two. Corners. Oh my god. I guess you know what? I'll see Avante Maddox because I thought he has some good games here as well.
Okay.
Not gonna lie,
Yeah,
but
you probably in the new area. You don't know the old school cornerbacks that we had, like the Eric Allens, the Lito Shepherds, Sheldon.
like some of the '80s and the '90s Eagles.
Yeah, Al
Yeah,
Harris.
see, like I said, I didn't get started to the early 2000s, so that's
Yeah,
the
I
problem.
got you.
Because
So that's why you missed them. Like, whoa, you done missed some really good players, my guy. But hey, it's your list. Ain't no wrong answer.
and look, I mean, look, along like you said, as long as they're wearing the Eagles uniform, that's all okay. That's all right by you. And
Nico Ryans. Yeah.
see,
What up, coach?
safety.
All right, so now you need what? Two safeties.
Oh, okay. Safeties. I say Rodney McLeod and Brian Dawkins. No.
That's nice, man.
Okay. That's right. Westbrook was
That's
the
nice.
running. Westbrook was
That's
the
nice.
running back. I forgot about that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
You.
I've
I
always.
I don't think anybody's ever said McCoy. They usually go with Jenkins.
I mean, I
But
like James,
everybody
but
goes with Dawkins. Sometimes it gets to the point where I have
Dawkins is one of the better.
Dawkins is like an automatic stamping. Like,
Exactly. Him and Westbrook are the automatic picks whenever you're coming to
well,
the
we had
Eagles list.
Atwaters, who was a beast back in the day.
I
Michael Lewis, Quentin Michaels was good.
Quentin Michaels, man, I haven't heard that name
Like there's been
forever.
a lot of them.
I forgot about God. I forgot about Sanjay Samuel too as a cornerback. I forgot about that.
Dante
My,
Al Harris played some good ball. Hey, Brandon Boykins was like the best
oh my God, Brandon
block
Boykins, man.
corner in the league for a couple of years, man.
God,
Yeah,
I would never
that's
get. I would never guessed him.
I wanted to get Asante Samuels Jr. in the second round. And I'm happy
See,
with.
and that speaking of that, I actually had him going to the Eagles in the second round.
Yeah, that's where I was hoping they was gonna go. But I'm not mad at that either. But yeah, I definitely wanted them.
Yeah, and you said okay. So what we had Okay, so we had two corners
You
because
got
I
two.
had.
The only thing left is the
I
only
think
thing
it's
left is a one more. Give me the kicker.
kicker David Akers.
Everybody's favorite kicker.
Dude, who
Akers.
cannot love David? I mean, David, because it's like David Akers. I think at the time, no one had a left hand, a left, a kicker that kicked from the left side because everybody else was, right hand dominant. But David, I think because of that, and not to mention because he had a lot of, he did a lot of shit talking in Dallas. It's like that's why I think when it comes to kickers, David Akers is my all time pick.
Well, you got a punter too.
I'd say Cameron Johnson at one point, man. He was. I thought he was one of our better punters we had in recent years. I mean, obviously we had different ones over the years, but that's the one I thought he was the most consistent.
Yeah, he was good. He
Yeah,
was
which is
good. Well, yeah, man, we almost up at the 2 hour mark, man. Thank you again for
all
coming
right,
on
not a
the show.
problem.
We had to reschedule it from last time. I'm glad you made it. We got to do this again today. You guys, please go subscribe to my guy. We're gonna try to get him to 150 on the ASAP or
Yep.
200. We're trying to his next destination is 200. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit that
All right,
like and subscribe to Bird Game Nation Sports Talk. We're on the road to 400, trying to keep
yeah.
growing till we hit that 1K. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, much love to all y'all that came out and supported us today. Go ahead and give them a breakdown where they can find you again before we get up out
You
of
can
here.
follow me. You can find me on my Twitter at Philly Podcast YT, which I could always put, and my Instagram where I also post uh, additional content, like different. And also, you can follow me on TikTok as well at Philly Sports 97 as well. So I post like random crap on there as well. So you can follow those are my social medias. You can follow me on, but I'm mostly active on Twitter and Instagram because I post updates and whatnot, give you guys like polls and stuff like that. So you can find me on there as well.
Yeah, so check out the Philly Sports Podcast. My guy's doing big things. And much love again. Like I always say, fly, Eagles,
Eagles fly.
fly. Yeah, baby. This was Bird Game Nation Sports Talk. I'm Bird Game 31, and we out. Oh, yeah, wait. Go ahead. I forgot to tell you guys, 7 p.m. live practice on my channel. So come back
It
and
was.
watch that. Now
Can't wait
we
for that.
out.
Yep.